Judges rule on matters big and small, but they're also human beings. As we got reminded early in the pandemic when someone didn't mute their microphone during this remote Supreme Court hearing.
What if I told you Trump's been playing judge and jury with our courts? Yep, the guy who can't even pick a good toupee shade has been picking our judges. And let me tell you, it's not pretty. It's like he's turning our justice system into his own personal country club, but instead of golf carts, we've got judges blocking progress faster than old men yelling at clouds. Now, imagine if Grumpy Trumpy gets a second shot at the White House.
It probably falls somewhere in the middle. But I love that lawyer just kept going. Who among us didn't sit on the toilet during work hours back then? You remember when I was in the void? I was on a toilet the whole time.
It's like giving a toddler a second helping of finger paint, but instead of your walls, it's our entire legal system that's getting smeared. We're talking about turning our courts into an exclusive right-wing hangout where the dress code is MAGA hats only, and the only case they'll hear is the people versus common sense. Don't worry, we'll dive into just how bad it could get, but first, let's ponder the real question on everyone's mind. Just how orange can our justice system get? Spoiler alert, it's not looking good for Lady Justice's complexion. Turns out, Lady Justice isn't just blindfolded, she's been pickpocketed too. Remember all those judge seats Trump filled? Well, here's a wild thought. What if I told you those seats weren't exactly his to fill in the first place? It's like someone left a bunch of blank checks lying around, and old Trumpy just couldn't resist scribbling his name all over them. So how did this judicial heist go down? Enter Mitch McConnell, the Senate's very own Gollum, obsessed with his precious court seats. This guy blocked Obama's judicial nominees like a bouncer at an exclusive club where the dress code is conservatives only. It wasn't gifting Trump these opportunities. It was more like swiping them from Obama and stuffing them in Trump's tiny hands. But wait, there's more. Meet Leonard Leo, the puppet master behind the scenes. This guy and his Federalist Society are like the shady backroom of a judge-picking casino. They've got a whole system for churning out conservative judges faster than Trump can tweet fake news.
But extremity seems to be the standard now for this court, which has been aggressive in applying hardline conservative views to reverse established laws.
It's like they've got a secret factory hidden away, mass-producing judges with a Make America 1950 Again stamp. Now you might be wondering, how do they fund this judge-making machine? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into the murky world of dark money. It's like a game of financial hide and seek, but instead of hiding behind trees, they're using donor-advised funds to obscure where the money's coming from. It's so sneaky, even the IRS is scratching its head. And the result of all this scheming, Trump managed to appoint a whopping 234 federal judges. That's not just a makeover, it's a full-on extreme judicial makeover. We're talking the kind of transformation that would make those reality TV plastic surgeons say, "Whoa, that's a bit much."
In 2022, they overturned Roe v. Wade. Last year, their decision on affirmative action reversed 45 years of legal precedent. And this June, they discarded the Chevron doctrine, which, as
So there you have it, folks. Trump didn't just appoint judges, he pulled off the great judge heist of the century. And now, our courts are looking more lopsided than Trump's comb-over in a strong wind. But don't worry, it gets worse. Next up, we'll see what happens when you let these Trump-picked judges loose on our legal system. Spoiler alert, it's about as pretty as Trump in a Speedo. And remember when you were a kid and your parents said, "Don't touch that, you'll break it"? Well, Trump's judges just got their hands on our legal system. What if I told you they managed to smash a 40-year-old legal doctrine that was cited in over 18,000 court decisions? It's like they took a wrecking ball to a skyscraper and called it remodeling. Welcome to the wild world of Trump's judicial playground, where conservative views are the new playground bullies. These judges aren't just making decisions, they're rewriting the rulebook faster than Trump can tweet, "Cov Fief." Take the recent Supreme Court rulings. They've been handing out conservative victories like Oprah handing out cars. You get a ruling. You get a ruling. Everybody gets a ruling. But let's talk about the big one. The Chevron doctrine. This wasn't just any old legal principle. It was the backbone of how government agencies interpreted laws. And Trump's judges just tossed it out like last week's taco bowl. It's as if they decided, you know what, let's make America 1980 again. Now, you might be thinking, how bad could it be? Well, imagine if every time you wanted to cross the street, you had to ask a judge for permission. That's basically what's happening with government agencies now. They used to be able to make decisions based on their expertise. Now, they might as well be playing Mother Mayhem with the courts. But wait, there's more. Ever heard of judge shopping? It's like regular shopping, but instead of looking for the best deal on shoes, you're looking for the judge most likely to agree with you. And boy, have conservatives been on a shopping spree. Take the mifepristone case. A group called the Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine, which sounds about as legit as the Association for Cats Who Want to Be Dogs, went judge hunting and hit the jackpot. The result, it's now easier for companies to challenge regulatory decisions than it is for me to challenge my cat for the comfy spot on the couch. It is way less cooperative than most federal agencies. So what does all this mean for you, dear viewer? Well, remember all those pesky things like clean air, safe workplaces, and food that doesn't try to kill you. Yeah, those might be on shaky ground now. It's like we've given a bunch of toddlers scissors and told them to redesign our safety net. What could possibly go wrong? But wait, there's more. Just when you thought our legal system couldn't get any more twisted, Trump's eyeing a sequel, and like most sequels, it's promising to be bigger, badder, and way more destructive. Ever wonder what would happen if a president could do literally anything without facing charges? Spoiler alert, it's not pretty. Trump's been bragging about appointing rock-solid conservative judges like he's building some kind of right-wing Avengers team. But here's the kicker. He's not done. If he gets a second term, he's planning to fill the courts faster than a clown car at a circus. And trust me, these judges aren't exactly known for their baggy pants and red noses. So what's on the menu for Trump's judicial buffet? Well, imagine a world where the president can do whatever he wants without consequences. It's like giving a toddler a get out of timeout free card. The Trump versus US ruling has raised some seriously scary questions about presidential immunity. Basically, it suggests that a president could be shielded from prosecution for actions taken while in office. It's like a break the law pass, but instead of getting out of jail free, you get to avoid jail altogether. But wait, it gets worse. Trump's not just aiming to fill any old judge seats. He's got his sights set on some pretty big fish. We're talking about replacing aging justices like Thomas and Alito. It's like he's playing judicial musical chairs. But when the music stops, we're all left standing. And here's the real kicker. These changes could stick around longer than that weird smell in your fridge. A second Trump term could solidify a conservative majority in the courts for generations. It's like planting a tree, except instead of giving shade and oxygen, this tree's dropping conservative rulings all over your lawn for the next 50 years. Now, you might be thinking, can't we just undo all this later? Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but reversing these changes would be harder than teaching a cat to fetch. Trump's judicial appointments have already led to some pretty big shifts in legal precedents. It's like trying to unbake a cake. Once it's done, you can't exactly separate the eggs and flour again. Alright folks, let's face it. Trump's impact on our courts is like a bad spray tan. It's everywhere, it's hard to scrub off, and if we let it continue, we're all gonna look pretty ridiculous. But don't worry, we're not doomed to a future of orange-tinted justice just yet. Here's the deal, we need to get off our butts and do something. Vote for candidates who actually care about keeping our courts fair and balanced. And no, I don't mean fair and balanced like Fox News. I mean actually fair. Remember, our justice system isn't a Trump hotel lobby. We can't just let him redecorate it with gold-plated benches and MAGA wallpaper. So let's roll up our sleeves and start fixing this mess. After all, if we don't act now, we might end up with a Supreme Court that looks more like a Mar-a-Lago membership roster than a pillar of democracy.